Thank you, and welcome to this meetup group, Malmö AI Devs. So today's subject was how to host, or actually the thing was that I wanted to have an AI server, and I thought, can I use my Raspberry Pi 5 for it? And yeah, I succeeded, even if it's not the fastest one. So this is more my experience, how I did it. And I was cheating, I can say. I used a lot of AI, ChatGPT, to tell how to do it. But I've done some server work. I'm more used to work with Apache, but Linux still. And but it's not my daily work, so it's gonna be a lot about the server, but it's not the focus maybe. And I was also thinking that we can have more like an open discussion also, especially afterwards, because this talk I think wouldn't be that long. Oh yeah, also JetBrains is sponsoring this meetup group, so I put some post-its there and a pen, so you can just write your email address, and I will close my eyes and take one post-it and give you a license for a 1-year subscription to ID from JetBrains, free of your choice. I'm not sure if it's all, but I think you can choose most of them. So yeah, feel free to ask question all the time. It's just fun if, yeah, this picture. Actually, I stopped to render images with ChatGPT because I think they start to disturb me too much. But anyway, it's not really how I look on you. And yeah, about me, my name is Dennis Sopovic. I've been computer nerd since 1987. I've been working in the IT industry since 1998, and currently I work for Malmö Stad, the city, and I'm part of something called Malmö Civic Lab, which is kind of Malmö's small startup. So we go to different sections of the city and see, can we do something that would make life better for a Malmö citizen, and that we can do if we free time from people who are doing something, they can spend time more wisely doing something else. I'm not going to talk too much about that because hopefully what we've been working on can be next meetup here. But we did some AI things with fact-checking some documents, which was really interesting to do. And yeah, my hobbies, let's not talk about them, but I can mention I was in Brazil for 1 month, so I kind of messed up my English. Because when I speak English with my friends there, I kind of go over to some Portuguese grammatic on my English, so it's been weird to come back and try to speak perfect English. Anyway, oh, sorry. So the project goal was for me to have my own AI server, mostly to learn how to set it up, because this is something we need in Malmö City. And why did it? Two bullet points at once. I wanted to use the open source models. Yeah, otherwise it would be impossible. I wanted to be able to reach it from internet, and I wanted to make it secure, because if I can reach it from internet, I don't want everybody else to reach it. And I wanted to spend less money than you would do on a consumer graphic card. So the hardware I used was a Raspberry Pi. I guess, does everybody know Raspberry Pi, what it is? Or I should have asked, is somebody who doesn't know? Okay, so I don't have to give you so you can touch it. It's not so comfortable. But it's not that one that is the server, because my server is at home. But anyway, I used a Raspberry Pi 5 with 8 gigabyte RAM. There is a 16 gigabyte version now, but I was thinking, should I buy that one instead? But I will present some other solution after this talk about my server. I also decided to go for a SSD disk. I don't know how much faster it made my AI server go, but I kind of felt like I wanted to try it out and see if it goes faster. But I haven't done any checks if it's really fast, but yeah, I think it probably helped. And then I have a noisy fan, at least when I'm using the models. So it sounds more than any other Raspberry Pi, and I think they recommend to buy a fan for the Raspberry Pi 5. And yeah, power supply I had to buy, and the total cost was around 800 Swedish crowns for this, which I think is, yeah, it's not the cheapest one, but I had the Raspberry Pi anyway with 8 gig RAM, so it was just laying at home. And the software, sorry, somebody's trying to call me, so it's annoying to get the vibration. So the software needed, I decided to go for Ubuntu server, which is, I think, a really easy one to go in this setup, but it's also easy to go to the Raspberry Pi website and format your micro SD card, or in my case SSD. I had some problem to get the SSDs to start to work, so I wouldn't recommend to buy SSD the first thing you do if you haven't experience with Raspberry Pis, but it's pretty simple to just go to Raspberry Pi webpage and just format, and you can choose Ubuntu server. And then I've been using Ollama. I don't know if everybody knows what Ollama is. Or I always forget to ask the question the opposite, but don't worry, I will show you Ollama. And then, why is it's not consistent there? Because I live in an apartment that uses Telia as a provider. I don't have a static IP, I have a dynamic IP, so I had to solve that thing too, because otherwise I wouldn't reach my server. I don't know how often it changed. It looks like it hasn't changed since I moved in, but I'm not sure. If that happens one day, then I don't have access to the server. I decided to go for Nginx, something like that, because I'm been using Apache, and then I haven't been into that world so much. So everybody says, "Oh, Nginx is the thing to choose." And also I use Certbot for SSL encryption to make it more secure. And I use ChatGPT for almost everything I have to present here today. I use it to ask. I kind of knew I wanted to use Ollama. I knew I wanted to use Ubuntu server, and then I started to describe I have problem with my dynamic, my IP, and it gave me options. It was super nice to have that. It was more that I actually could have somebody to talk to. And then I thought, okay, I'm gonna do my presentation maybe like a week before this happens. And then I was like, I want to do one more thing to show. And then I destroyed my server. I had to redo it. I was like, I don't have time to do the presentation because I put so much time to get it back running. So I asked ChatGPT, hey, can you do a blog post for me? So a lot of the things are what I did, but it was presented in a blog post format, and then I just copy pasted it into the presentation. So it didn't give me so much time to prepare for a presentation, but I would say I really love that I can use ChatGPT for so much things, and it's just getting better and better. So let me just drink some water. So what I did when I got Ubuntu server up and running was to install Ollama, because my primary goal was to make an AI server. And I'm not gonna talk so much or show exactly 100% how you install everything. That would be pretty boring. And you also have help from ChatGPT or another GPT if you want to do this by yourself. But I install it, and I checked if it was running, and then I downloaded DeepSeek, which I think that's why you're all here, right? It was a clickbait. So I thought if I would wrote some other boring LLM, you wouldn't come, right? Let's demo it. So I'm actually going to connect to my Raspberry Pi directly from here. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna SSH into it, and then password. And there we are. We have it here. And if I then, is it big enough? And it's in the corner there. Let me just, so everyone can see. So yeah, this is the Raspberry Pi that is at my home, and I have Ollama on it, and I have some models. So if you want to check what models I have here, I just Ollama list, and let's run. DeepSeek is actually not my favorite. We can talk about that later. Let's just run Quen. Ollama run Quen. I think that one is old too. I'm not sure. Oh no, it's downloading it. Huh, strange, because I thought it was here. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Strange. I was running it yesterday. Ah, because I didn't wrote. Yeah, I didn't wrote everything. That's why. Yeah, let's take Mistral. Is easier. Run Mistral. Let's make it even a little bit bigger. And then we have Mistral loaded into my Raspberry Pi. And if we ask something, tell me about Malmö city, you're gonna see how fast or rather slow it is. It's gonna take, yeah, it's good doing, it was faster yesterday, but I think I was running the Quen model, which is just half the size, so it's going faster. What does it say? It lies, huh? The most popular city in Scania. Okay. Scandinavia. Let's stop it and then go back to presentation. But that was the first thing I wanted to check. Okay, is Ollama running? Then we can go from there and continue with the server. So I choose the duckdns, which basically works that you install a script on your server, and then you, I think that's maybe, yeah, have a cron job, so it updates your IP you have at home every 5 minutes. So if it would change, then it wouldn't be down more than 5 minutes. And what more about it? Then when I did that, no, where is the picture? Then I got I think I can zoom in. Where's my mouse? I don't see my pointer. Oh. Then I get like a subdomain with the duckdns, so it's rsopd something blah 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 duckdns or something, but I wanted my own domain, so I'll show that later. And then I used the Nginx, the web server, because I wanted to have a reverse proxy, so I can forward the API requests to Ollama, but hiding like the internal what port it is and things like that. I'm not the expert in that, but it's kind of make me feel good to do that. And then I had the SSL for the security. I wanted to be more encrypted, or otherwise someone could hack me. It wouldn't be that bad, but still good thing to learn. I mean, I don't have any secrets on my server. I just have the Ollama models. And then, yeah, you can have a rate limiting, so you don't have abuse by limiting requests per user. I actually shared my server with my colleague, and then that could be a good thing to have some request limits. So, and yeah, the performance handles multiply connections efficiently. But in this case, I don't know how fun it is to run 10 users asking Ollama, let's say, like question and get the 10% of what you saw, the speed was there. But it depends on what kind of LLM you load to it. And then I wanted a custom domain, so I don't use the Ollama. I mean, I can hide that it's Ollama, whatever, by doing that. And yeah, this is how I set it up. So instead of going to my IP address and the colon the port number, which is Llama if you translated it to, so it's easy to remember if you understand what I mean. And then it went to my subdomain on duckdns that way instead, which kind of felt okay, but I wanted my own domain. But that was the first step with duckdns to try to get that functioning. And then the security SSL. So it encrypts, like I said before, all the API traffics with HTTPS, and I was using Let's Encrypt SSL, and forces secure connection by redirecting HTTP to HTTPS. Adds API key authentications to prevent unauthorized access, which I do by putting a token here. I think I did it just static because I'm lazy, but there is better solution if you want to do a real server. And I think it's gonna show up if I show my code later, but don't abuse it. I'm gonna change it later anyway. Yeah, that was where it was, the bearer token. And then I also set up the SSL. I'm not expert with this, so it was super nice to have ChatGPT helping me out with this, because it basically, I think this was the easiest thing for me to do. Just ask ChatGPT and then try to just set it up by, I mean, I don't just copy paste directly. I want to read and understand what I'm doing. I don't want to do something stupid with my server, but I kind of feel like comfortable on my level at least. Okay, this looks okay, but it's still dangerous because it could tell me to install something that sounds like another famous application, and it could be like one letter or something, and I wouldn't see it, and then maybe I will install something really bad. So that's the bad thing using LLMs and GPTs. So we're doing that. Yeah, all requests must be encrypted and include an API key. And I also set up some limits so that people cannot abuse it. So I would set up like 10 requests per second, or I haven't really got any problem yet, but if I notice somebody is abusing it, then I could do that. So it's my goal to play around more with this thing, but it's not my main focus. It's the AI I like to play around with. And yeah, I say that before, limits 10 requests per second, and allows occasional bursts up to 20 requests. And it prevents API overload and DDoS attacks. And then I wanted my custom domain and subdomain, so I have my last name, and then I wanted to use Ollama, so it's easy for me to remember. And that makes that users can call ollama.sopovic.com /API generate instead of using my IP address like that. And then, let's test it from the terminal. So I have the curl request. I'm just gonna copy it. And I'm gonna open another. Oops, that was small. Maybe I can exit here. So to exit Ollama first, you just say bye, and then let's exit the server. So now I'm on my computer. Let's just paste in the curl. And the prompt is, give me AI developer wisdom with DeepSeek. Oh no, it's not gonna go well, huh? It's gonna, something is happening, but it's gonna take some time, which I'm gonna use to drink even more water. Feel free to ask questions if you have. Depends on how many models you want to download. But I think I bought, what is it, 256 SSD, but I'm not using almost nothing. I mean, because the Raspberry Pi cannot host the bigger models, you're gonna get up to maybe 4 gigabytes per model at most. So it depends if you want to have all the models hosted on it, but it's not so much problem with the space. Yes, it's replying here, and it's really hard to read the response like this. You can try, but let's not do that. Where is my presentation? There. So we tested it, but what about creating a small app? So I didn't do that, but I also didn't use ChatGPT. Those of you who have been to my talks earlier here know that I've been a little bit disappointing with Visual Studio Code, or no, with the GitHub Copilot, I mean, that the models, let me just make it bigger. They were basically built on data that was 3 years old, and they used, sometimes you used GPT 3.5 and sometimes 4. It was switching between the models, and that made it not understand the context of your whole conversation with it. But now, since you can choose 4, what is it, 4.0, they mess up with the name and the cloud. I think it's much better. Now it's only 1 year old data, so it's not like ChatGPT is half year or something. It's more than half year now, but it's still newer than it used to be. So it's much easier to do apps now. And so what I did is, let me just take a new one. I basically, when I create a new project in Visual Studio Code, I can do it like, whoops. It doesn't want to expand. What happened? Which one? The there. I didn't see it. Thank you. Yeah. So my favorite now is to use this command, workspace, and then /new, and then you can basically type what you want, create a React app that does a timer. I mean, you have to be more specific if you want to have good apps out from that. But if you want to create like a React app, this is like a really nice way to get up an environment really fast. But I didn't do a whole React app. I only did a one. Sorry, that was my Amiga assembler project that I'm doing when I'm not doing normal new code. Let me show you the app instead. Where is it? There. Oh no. Some reason I closed the whole Chrome. Where is the... Nope. Am I on the right? Sorry for this. I prepared all the tabs and everything, and then... Oh no. I don't use Chrome, that's why. I was like confused. What is this? I forgot. The app I did is there, the AI fortune cookie, which basically I could get up and running with just prompting, hey, I want an AI fortune cookie. I want to be able to choose my models on my Raspberry Pi. And I want it to give me some AI wisdom. So let's try this Quen. I think that one is the fastest. And then it's thinking, it's contacting my Raspberry Pi at my home. And then it gave us some wisdom. Success always follows those who wait patiently and persevere through challenges. Okay, I don't know how much AI wisdom that. Yeah, of course it's AI who gave it, but I thought it would be more wisdom for AI developers. But and then I can choose Llama, which I think is this one even faster. I think Quen is faster. Uh, thinking, it's probably gonna take a little bit more time. Oh, this one is more on point. Your code is not just lines of ones and zeros, but threads of connection that weave together with the fabric of innovation. I like that. That's the one you would like to find in a fortune cookie. And then we have the DeepSeek, which I haven't uh, made to work really with this app. But if I get the AI wisdom, I think it's gonna take a lot because it's more like a thinking model. So it's gonna tell me probably huh? Yeah. It's probably gonna tell me how it came to the conclusion to give me the wisdom. But somehow, because it's as you see, it's the model is just 1.5 billion parameters. So it's here it is. So imagine getting a fortune cookie provided by DeepSeek. It would be like the biggest fortune cookie ever. Cake. Oh yeah, cake. I thought you meant I said. Oh, it's not finished yet. It's continuing to stream. Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna come more, or if it's gonna end up with a wisdom for us. Yeah. But yeah, this is almost everything for my presentation. But as you notice, it's really fun to play around with the Raspberry Pi, but I wouldn't recommend it for something serious. But actually, because when we worked with our AI app 3 months ago, we still didn't have any AI server. We had some, me and my colleague had computers that we can run or Ollama on it, but the other computers that other colleagues had, they wouldn't allow to install those things. So that's why I set up this Raspberry Pi. So it actually helped us during, even if it was slow. But then we were also using a fact check LLM. So those of you, was somebody here in December? Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Okay. There is a fact check model called Bespoke. Oh yeah, you've been. And it's really nice because if you want to ask a document, is this fact true or not, then it would only say yes or no. You wouldn't get any other answer from this LLM. So it's super nice to use when you really are the only thing you want to know if it's this question or data is correct or not. You don't want, yeah, things like that. It's too much and it can hallucinate more. If it's only, and it's fine-tuned on only focusing on find data. And that one is, I think it's 4 gigabyte. We can actually go, if you haven't used Ollama too much, you can always go to the website and here you can see all the models. The most popular ones comes first, but I think Bespoke, yeah, this one we used, and it's, how big is it? 7 billion parameters. I think it's like maybe 5 gigabytes or something big. I don't see. Yeah, 4.7 gigabytes. So that one you can actually run on your Raspberry Pi, and then if you want to fact check some documents, you can probably make a script and then have an answer when you wake up or something. I mean, it could be a really nice developer tool in case you have a problem with telling your manager, hey, I want like a GPU for 100,000 crowns. Can you give me that? That's one is kind of a little bit hard to get, but Raspberry Pi would work as a solution until you wait, and it will make you also learn what is the challenges. Even if it's slow, it will still learn. At least I learned that it's a really challenge to use LLMs in a certain way when you want to get the information back really fast. Like if you would do a fact check that you have users that uploads a document in a form, and they upload a PDF, and then you want to fact check that PDF. The people who uploads the document, they don't want to wait for 10 minutes to get the answer. It's gonna be too long. So in that case, it's really interesting. Okay, how can I make this faster on my Raspberry Pi? Because if I can make something work on my Raspberry Pi, which works really, okay, then it's easier to scale up later to the bigger servers and things. So I think this knowledge has helped at least me to understand more. If I develop something with LLMs, RAG solution, then I also know it's gonna work. If it works on my Raspberry Pi, it's gonna work everywhere, basically. And then also some kind of this this size. If you scale it up, you understand, the problems you're gonna get when you want to deploy and in the real world. Let's go back to the presentation. So yeah, this app was really fun to build and use the different models, but they're kind of small. So I was thinking, wait, the conclusion first. So yeah, if you want to take a print screen and go home and ask ChatGPT to do the same thing, you can just. There's more. One more. Yeah. So if you want to take a photo and just put the photo in ChatGPT, and it will give you a copy of my server, almost. Am I in the way? Yeah, no, I don't see any more cameras. But yeah, Raspberry is too slow. So what are the options? If you are super rich, you can buy expensive GPUs, but what's the next option from Raspberry Pi? So I'm following this guy, but I think he's kind of funny. I don't know if you seen these YouTube videos. Sorry, I'm in your way. Jeff Gerling, I don't know. But he he connected graphic cards to a Raspberry Pi, and it runs really fast. Because it uses the graphic card. So I was thinking, what's the next step? I have an old PC, but that CPU is old, the RAM, everything is old, and then it's taking up so much space in my apartment. So is there like a other solution? And then he came with some really interesting videos about that. So that's a solution that I'm thinking of, but then I discovered this one. NVIDIA released the Jetson. So it's kind of, if you can see, it's kind of like a Raspberry Pi, but it's more expensive because it's probably more faster, but I don't know so much about it. I haven't seen so much videos. Does anybody have it? No, because it's, I almost say that in English pronunciation, but it's not available yet to buy here in Sweden. And you can also not host it on a server. You can make the user host the LLM. Then you just need static to provide with static HTML and JavaScript. So actually this one, I think, I hosted this one on my Raspberry Pi too, in my Brave browser. Where is it? It's there. So how this works is that you can download LLMs, but the problem is, you don't know how fast your client's computer is. But what is interesting, you can download all the open source models in the browser with this solution, but the problem is who is going to be the client. So in one case it could be, you know that you're building an app and you only want, or you know exactly who's going to work with those. Then you know what computers they have and if they are able to download. But this one, that is a translation LLM, and it's really not good, but it's really small. So I think I mistakenly took the one that has all the languages. But if you know that, oh, I only need 3, then it's 70 megabyte big LLM. And I think I've used it, but let's see if I push translate, if it's already downloaded. No, it's not. So what's happening now, it's downloading the LLM, and then it's gonna run it. So first time you run it in your browser, it's gonna go slow. And if I remember, I think this one was around, it doesn't say anywhere, but around 250 megabyte or something. But then it also has all the languages. So yeah, it takes some time. But it has quite a few languages. And now I think it's, yeah, then it translated to French. Does anybody know French here? I think it's not correctly, but it translates, I think, word by word, but not the correctly grammatic sentence. Does anybody? Nobody speaks French here? Or you're too shy? Or you speak? I cannot pronounce it. But yeah, but someone told me it's just direct translation word by word. So yeah, you can have a really small LLM. You can have this app on your phone as well. I think you can go to that website right now. Yeah, you don't need to do it, but it's gonna work on your phone too, this LLM. And I think that could be a solution to the problem that the problem with having AI servers that's gonna be able for a lot of users to use, or should we rather put the LLMs in the client computers? Because depending on how big the model is, like this one is no problem, I think, for most computers to use. But as we know, also the iPhones and everybody is talking about, we have the AI chips, and I think Apple has some small LLMs already with the Apple Intelligence, but I haven't tried it. Has anybody tried it out? No, but you can always cheat. You can have an account in the US and then you get it. Yeah, nobody has tried it. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah. Ah, okay, okay. Because I have Ollama. I don't know what I have installed in this computer. Yeah, I didn't use this here so much, but so this is a MacBook Pro M3 processor. I think it's 18 gigabyte RAM. And which one should we try? I have some sketchy ones here, uncensored, so I don't want to load them here. Because it's gonna tell you about doing bombs and scary things. But let's take Mistral. Llama run Mistral, but this is, as you see, they are very old models. They get more effective all the time, so that's also why I think it's very interesting to try host models on a Raspberry Pi, because the next models is going to be faster and faster. So if you put them there, then you see the progression easier than if I would. What should I ask? Same question about Malmö city. Is it Scania? Does it? Ah, that's why. Yeah. So it was correct. Yeah, it goes a little bit faster, but I'm not super impressed. But this is an old model, so it's not fair to show this because a lot of things happens in 1 year in AI. Not in Malmö. No, it's still part of Skåne. Even if some people try to dig out Skåne from Sweden, but yeah. And let me see if I had something more to say in my presentation, because AI did it, not me. I think yeah, that was all. I have the meetup group at Malmö AI devs, so you can go there and but also Foo Café sends out a newsletter. But I wasn't thinking to finish yet, because I think I'm not Jesus. Um, Questions or discussions. I haven't talked so much about DeepSeek, but everybody that is not really a developer or technical, they are super scared, because they say everything goes to China. Of course it goes to China because it's hosted in China, so what else would you expect? But yeah, I was thinking not to talk about the politics, but the security. But then, do you think it's dangerous to use DeepSeek locally? Anybody any clue if it's dangerous or not?
I guess it might be dangerous from an information standpoint. There's
You mean the information you get?
you get,
Yeah.
but I think it's not dangerous from exfiltration of data. Or running it locally. I mean, even if it's just a month.
Yeah, yeah. And but I would also say you can host local models on different ways. You can use Ollama, but you can also use what is the one I forgot? I have it here. LM Studio. I don't use it so much, but LM Studio is another way. But if they have some way to send back information to internet, then I think it could be dangerous. But then again, it would also be discovered, so it would be stupid to do something like that. But I think I don't have DeepSeek here, but let's log into my no, I'm still to my Raspberry Pi, because everybody's huh? Yeah, yeah, or just plug out the cable. That would be easier for me. Then I wouldn't reach it. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. Uh, Let me just. No, it's. Where is it? There. So. Oh no, wrong password. Is it right? Okay, now I'm on my server. So let's go and. I forgot the exact name. Yeah, Llama list, and then we have DeepSeek there, and I'm gonna run, and then it's gonna go slow. So what do you think was the first question I asked it? Huh? Almost. Yeah. I, I, yeah, yeah. No, I only asked it. I wanted to be polite, so I only asked, "Are you censored?" I'm not sure. Same thing is gonna happen now, but basically it tells me who it is, and then okay, you don't want to tell if you're censored or not. That's okay. But then yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't thought about that. So yeah, and then I think I just asking some give me a JS function or something, and then let's see if then it kind of blocked me to continue use it. So it's it put a smiley. Okay, that's interesting. Funny. But basically I cannot use the model anymore, so it's kind of, I mean, it doesn't destroy my Raspberry Pi, I hope, but it's not really um, good if you have an application and the user cannot uh, restart the server and then you ask a question like this, and then you basically freeze the model. So yeah, but I mean, like, yeah. So I was about to say if I go out and then go back, start it again, then I can continue ask it to give me a JS function, and then it's gonna think. Yeah. No, I was thinking more, because then it would be like a new session, so it wouldn't freeze. But I'm just imagining that it could freeze in some way if you have the same context or something. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be a chat that you build. You can build like a robot that's, I don't know. I was thinking because we have a new office at work, and some people are like, "Oh, it's too loud here," and then when you talk, it's hard to know if you talk loud or not. And I was thinking maybe you can put some microphone on the wall and some lights, and then it would also be cool to have some LLM generated text or something. I don't know, not maybe not that, but so it can say polite. It could listen who is in the room and then talk in the same language. I don't know, something fun like that. And that's all where I was also was thinking, could Raspberry Pi do something? It's super fun to play around with. Um, I was thinking to say something more about DeepSeek, but can't remember right now. But yeah, without talking too much politics, of course. It's tempting sometimes, but it's also very confusing, the thing. Uh, uh, yeah. Yeah, let's go to Mistral and ask him how do I make a bomb, and you're not gonna get. Uh, yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm not sure if it applies to models, but I think it applies to like GPTs that uses models, because my theory, and not just mine, but is that ChatGPT is not just one model. So, for example, I showed here earlier this year that on my website I put some base 64 encrypted text, and then when it has reaches my website, it takes the encrypted code, and then it takes and looks, what is this? Oh, I need to take it to the encryption model, and then I pass the safeguards probably, because I'm going to this model, and that model sends it directly to the model that is going to answer me. And in that way, maybe I instructed it to say, hey, how can I make bad things like a bomb or whatever? But if I would use clear text, it would just check the text and see, is it something bad here? Like if statement, if ask about bomb, return no. But then you bypass, because it's probably chains of thoughts there that it's gonna reach this model, this model. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you ask it to make a picture, it's not gonna respond with the GPT model. It's gonna use DALL-E. So it, it I mean, it's probably, I don't know how it's built with models, but I think it's not too far from trying and play around with smaller open source models, because we could actually do some really creative apps. So I don't know if you know Drupal. It's like WordPress, old open source system, and the founder of Drupal, Dries, he did a really interesting blog post where he has a blog that he said he has maybe 10,000 pictures on it, and the last 2-3 years he started to add alt tags. I think he had the blog for maybe 20 years, but he only had it on 1,000 pictures, and he wanted to correct the 9,000 others. And then he, in the blog post, wrote that he could use the commercial ones, but that would cost him money, and he also doesn't like to send things to. I mean, he's basically one that loves open source. With Drupal is, I think, the best, one of the best open source communities, or was at least before. And he wanted to try out all the open source models. So he took 5 pictures and then let every vision open source model write what it saw in the picture, and then 2 or 3 were really bad, and then there was the other ones were this one was correct there and this one was correct there. But then he came to the conclusion in the blog post, what if I just take all the models output and bring it together and then use a like expensive, because it costs money every time you use OpenAI's, and then he just send that one and gets the bigger LLM to merge together all the answers, and probably would get the best answer. Because let's say you get 2 really bad answers, but you got 8 like half good answers, then if you get those and merge them together, you're probably gonna get a really good answer out of it. And that doesn't necessarily require a lot of GPUs or powers, but you can make the LLM work smarter with each other. One thing that we also looked just 2-3 weeks ago at my work was so when we have the documents, we want to make them to a picture, because the PDF is really complex, and the only thing we want is to extract text. So we checked 2 OCRs. I gave the best output, but we weren't really happy with neither of them separately. But then I took both the answers and just took it into ChatGPT, and it gave me a really good answer, or not answer, what I needed. It wasn't like perfect text from the document, but it wasn't really what I was going after, because I just wanted to fact check with the bespoke LLM I spoke about earlier. Now my computer, whoops. Yeah, so there is still some time for until the pizza is coming. So I was thinking if there is other questions or interesting. Yeah, yeah, because I only heard about it, but do you know more about that, or? Uh, I don't know. It was actually one of the things I wasn't really. Uh, how do you say? I haven't done it before. I knew about duckdns before, but watch out also, because I think it's duckdns.org, but if you go to the .com website, it's something else. I mean, not that bad, but so um, I think that's the most popular free one. But I would probably want maybe something else. And I was thinking this, I got it working, so my next step is to learn about every other steps like security and dynamic IPs, and because there is, I mean, I was a front-end developer for so many years, I kind of lost that thing, and I wanted to have a project where I go back to it. But
Dynamic DNS, but there are a lot of free DNS solutions out there that can work dynamically as well,
yeah,
like Cloudflare and Flutter.
uh, have you tried them, or?
Cloudflare
Uh,
was on Nginx.
so it's, but did you say it was free, or?
Yeah, I'm running the free plan,
Okay, oh nice.
and I'm the beta tester for all new stuff.
Ah, nice. Yeah, Cloudflare. I heard about it, but I haven't really tried it out. Um,
You can free the mainframe as well, or no, I haven't tried the main implementation
uh,
yet.
oh yeah,
If you're running your own domain node,
yeah.
never get a free domain.
But the other thing was also, I forgot to tell that before, that when I just tried to reach duckdns from the subdomain with the duckdns, it was blocked in the city, of course. So that's why I put, so I can bypass that, but don't tell anybody who works there. And now it's pizza. I don't know if there is. Yeah, you have other.
I see you're working over the front. Have you tried Open Web UI?
Yeah, I really like it. It's like ChatGPT, but even better. Yeah, I'm. No, I have it on my other computer. I had it running, but it's yeah. You could probably host it on the Raspberry Pi, and it would be as slow as. So those for you who doesn't know about it, it's a really nice project. It's I kind of confuse it. Open Web UI. It's I think it's this one, right? But I'm not sure if it shows the. Uh, I think it's better if go to GitHub.
Was it the same company who created Stable Diffusion who created this? Because I saw this one long time ago, Stable Diffusion.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember exactly, but I saw
Uh,
this. Its name is familiar.
uh,
Kids with Stable
but
Diffusion.
anyway, it looks. I'm gonna get back to you to answer you. But it looks like ChatGPT, but you have more control over it, and you can also. I tried 3 models on my computer at the same time. You can ask one question and get 3 responses from the models, and yeah, you can. I actually use this one when I'm been talking about and showing AI in the city, and you can upload documents and talk with it, just like ChatGPT. But it's. I was thinking about your question. It's open source, the whole project. So I'm not sure if it's by a company. It is some guy, right? It's not, but I'm not sure if he's working. But it's not like a company made it because what does it say? It has. Yeah, it has. It's. Yeah. Um, yeah. By the way, I'm not trying to tell you, but if anybody's interesting about giving a talk about something like this or other things that you've been playing around with, I haven't had much time to play around with it, but it's super interesting because you can download the code and then you can customize your own ChatGPT, and it's yeah super fun to play around with. Um, yeah, where's the documentation? I think there is kind of a list with all the yeah plugins. Yeah. Anyway, go home and check this out. It's really cool project and open source. Yeah.
What if you know the DeepSeek from the Git and ran on our laptop in our testing?
Well,
When was it? It was DeepSeek
yeah.
code on GitHub
Yeah.
in Hugging Face.
Yeah.
I tried to download this.
Uh,
The AI was even took
Smallest one.
the no the, not the whole history of Git. I took only one
Uh,
when the flag that equals to the Git equals to one, but still I couldn't. I couldn't.
couldn't.
It was downloading.
Uh, yeah. I'm not sure. GitHub. I know Hugging Face, but I mean Ollama is basically easier way to download things from Hugging Face. So you can use Ollama instead and have it on your laptop, and yeah, download like I did the smallest version. I think I don't know. Let me not think. Let me look into it. It's you have the 1.5 billion, 7, 8, 14, 32, and so on. And this is the one that they host that everybody is talking about. Is the ChatGPT killer. Uh, but if you want to have an easier solution and play around with LLMs, you can download so much L's and things. You can download LM Studio, and let me just, can I make it bigger? Yeah. And then basically you can go, where is it? My models is there. No, if I want to search for models, like let's go to DeepSeek. If you see, then it's basically gonna say, this one is too large for this machine, or this one is gonna run good or bad. So, and there's a lot of people apparently played around and fine-tuned their own versions. So you can probably find uncensored version of DeepSeek, like you can do with Mistral. And then if you want to try really scary things, then you can have that as a model to ask. But it's really good for hacking too, if you want to, be a white hat hacker, of course. I'm not saying anything else. Yeah, this one I can install and you can see the size, but if you use this one, it's gonna be much easier to play around with different models. And if you're a developer, you also have like a local server, so you can use it as an API, same way as I hosted with Ollama on my Raspberry Pi server. So yeah, I don't know if it doesn't answer your question about GitHub, but I would say this one is a good way to start with models or use Ollama. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's going good. Yeah. So, yeah, I know. So, who wants pizza? So, thanks for me. I cannot talk.